What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the RX2. So this is the RX's first foray into the world of the 2700 battery, and right off the bat, I gotta tell you guys that they did a pretty darn good job with this one. So with that, this one comes to us from our friends over at Wismec, with a big shout out and thank you going to Wismec for giving this to me for the purpose of making this video. Really do appreciate it. Taking a look online, this device comes in 3 different colors. You have a choice between their neon green, their kind of brown coppery color, and the black version as well. As you can see here, I've got the black one. So this one's gonna run you about 60 bucks online, and that's for the kit with the gnome tank on top. If you don't need the tank and you just want the mod by itself, then you're going to be spending around $45. So as far as that goes, if you guys want to pick one up for yourself, I'll leave links right down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got the RX2 in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging and then talk about what's inside. So, your pretty standard Wismec packaging, black textured box with a silver emboss. You have a little line drawing of the device itself. On the bottom, you have the Wismec logo, the RX2 logo, wismec.com, and RX2 logo once again. On the back, again, pretty standard stuff. What's in the box here? We have our color indication, we have some warnings and safety stuff, and some company information, as well as our scratch-off authentication. So let's go ahead and pop the top. Boom, we are greeted right with the device itself, the RX2, as you can see. Let's go ahead and see what's under the cover here. So we have a little foam insert, we have our little battery warning thing, a very simple little card there. And under here we have our friend, the USB cable, of course. You know, you get one of these with pretty much everything nowadays. You have a spare drip tip. This is a standard Delrin drip tip. Very simple stuff, but I like it. We have a spare glass piece. This is a kind of frosted, kind of black glass looking thing there. Not frosted, tinted, there we go. We have our gnome tank. And I haven't even used this one because I have plenty of gnome tanks kicking around. And we have a spare gnome coil as well. So you get an extra one right there in the box if you need it. And then you have your card that says the different wattages and coil configurations and all that stuff. We've talked about this before. You guys have seen some other Wismec gnome tank flavor card thing reviews, whatever you want to call it. Not sure, but there you go. You have your, this is the tank manual, and it's a fold-out manual. Boo. But hey, it's just a tank manual. Really, there's nothing to it. You don't really need that part, but oh, and this one's a fold-out one too. Oh, okay. It's not so bad. It's not as bad as I thought. It's only a quick little thing like that. The tank manual is bigger than the freaking mod manual. I'm not sure what that's all about, but really wish they did a little bit better job with the manual here. Not sure if the full retail packaging does have a better manual, but that's what's in my box. All right, guys, let's take a look at the specs. It takes two 2700 or two 18650 batteries with the adapters. It has a brand new 200-watt chipset. It goes from 1 to 200 watts output. The minimum resistance is 0.1 ohms, and the maximum is 3.5 ohms. It has full temperature control support with nickel, titanium, and stainless steel, as well as TCR mode. It has atomizer resistance lock. It goes from 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit and 0.05 to 1.5 in temp control mode. It has a 1.3-inch OLED screen, 3-button control face, slide and lock battery access door, 2-amp maximum charging using the micro USB port, designed by Jabo with the Jabo engraving on the firing button, modern and sleek look, ergonomic shape and feel, gold-plated spring-loaded contacts. It also features no atomizer, atomizer low, atomizer short circuit, temperature alert, 10-second overdraw, weak battery, low power, USB and battery imbalance protection, as well as a reverse polarity protection. So if you want to use it with 18650s, then you can use these adapters that come in the box. Or if you want to use it with 2700s, then all you have to do is release the battery latch at the bottom here. Just put your fingernail in there and it pops right out. And then install your batteries. They are marked on the bottom of the sled there. Hopefully you guys can see that. So you just want the positive side down there and positive up here. And then all you have to do is just kind of align it and then slide it upwards, and there you go. So now the batteries are installed, and as you can see, it turns on pretty much instantly. That is one thing I love about this device, is that it pretty much turns on right when you put the batteries in. And to turn it on and off, all you have to do is click it 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and the device is off pretty much instantly again. 5 clicks to turn it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and boom, it's ready to go, ready to be fired up, and ready to vape. So very simple operations with this one here. If you want to change the mode, all you have to do is click the button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then it'll start flashing there. Then you can click the up or down buttons and go into temp control, TCR, or back to power. Of course, you can go to the different temp control modes as well, just by navigating with the little up and down buttons there. But let's leave it in power mode for right now. So just some basics with the RX2. All you have to do to get into the preheat function is hold the fire button and the plus button at the same time. Then you'll be launched into that menu there. You can adjust the time or the power right there. And to get back, all you have to do is just wait a few seconds, or if you click and hold the power button, it goes back to the setting there. If you click the power button and the minus button, then you get the stealth mode. So now when you vape on it, it's not going to turn the lights on. And if you want to shut that off, then press and hold it again. There you go. It is off. The plus and minus button at the same time is going to be a key lock. So now you can't adjust your power up and down until you click both buttons at the same time again. And the keys are now unlocked. So that is the bare bones raw basics for the RX2. And that about does it for this close-up section. So let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's slightly smaller than the rest of the RX series. Now, the only RX that I've never owned was the RX2 just because I never thought I would use it in 2-battery configuration, and the little battery backpack thing was a little bit suspect in my opinion. But along comes the RX2 and kind of takes its place amongst the ranks of the RX series, and I just think that it's a great little system because you get a little bit more battery life with 2 2700s rather than 2 18650s or even 3 18650s depending on which ones you have. And with that, I love the form factor of it. The feel in the hand is definitely great, and it's just the right device for me personally. My second pro for this device is the bigger firing button. Now, one thing that I really didn't like about the rest of the RXs was the smaller firing button. This one here is nice and big and chunky, and you know you can press it just about anywhere on there and it's going to fire up every single time. My third pro for this device is the big bright screen. This is the same screen that's on the RX Gen 3, and I really couldn't be happier with it. It's big, it's bright, the numbers are bold, and it's really easy to read. You just kind of glance down, you can see your battery life and what wattage you're at, and that's pretty much the pertinent information. So with that, I really like the screen on this one, just like the RX Gen 3. And my fourth and final pro today is it's powerful. With two 2700s under the hood, you get a full day's battery life at around the 80-watt mark. Generally speaking, I tend to use this thing just above the 100-watt mark, and I still get about a full day's worth of battery life. Alright guys, so moving it right along to the cons, my first con is that it only fits up to 25mm atomizers flush. Now, personally, I don't use a lot of the 28 or 30 or even 40mm atomizers for that matter, but I really would like to be able to and not have a whole lot of overhang. With this one here, anything larger than 25 is going to stick off the edge, and I did a poll on my channel a few weeks ago and asked you guys whether or not you cared about overhang, and the majority of you said it's a definite no-go for you, no overhang, and I tend to agree with that fact, just because I really want to be able to use my Elite V2 on more devices, but with another Wismec product, you can't. My second con for this device is I really feel like they should have separated the battery chambers. Now, I tend to have a problem when I'm installing the batteries into this thing. Sometimes I'll have one battery in and I go to put the other one in and it'll just kind of fall over or fall out of the device. And in turn, it kind of takes away from the ease of use of the device overall. I really just wish they put a tiny little sliver of plastic between there. It would be a little bit safer and it would make my life a whole lot easier. And my third con is the battery magazine itself is a little bit janky. Now, it's holding just fine for now, but I really feel like that is definitely a weak spot with this device here. It's a little bit tricky to get your fingernail in there and actually release the battery magazine, and I'm not sure why they actually set it up like this. I really don't see a problem with just a magnetic removable case or anything like that, but they decided to go a different direction with this one, and I'm really not sure why. And my fourth and final con is I'm not too crazy about the Gnome tank. I've reviewed a bunch of Wismec products this year, and a lot of them have come with a gnome tank, and I just really can't get into it. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's just not the tank for me, honestly. It's not a bad tank whatsoever. I just feel like it's just not anything sort of special, and I just tend to kind of use it while I'm reviewing it and then just put it on my little stand back there when I'm done. I didn't even bother taking this one out of the packaging just because I have 2 or 3 of them back there just kicking around still with juice in it from when I reviewed it. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? And I would say yes to this one. I really like the RX series, and this is definitely no exception. Personally, I would go with the mod only rather than the kit just because I really have no use for another gnome tank. But for anyone that's upgrading for an all-in-one pen or something like that, they just want something more powerful that comes all together in one box, then the kit isn't a bad choice, especially for the price point of around 65 bucks. It's really reasonable for everything all in one box. So with that, yeah, I would definitely suggest you guys try this one out. Make sure you check out the links right down there in the description below. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts all about the RX2 or anything else you guys want to discuss. The Facebook group is open, guys. Make sure you join. The link is right down there in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on. I got new glasses.